What's up guys, CINNAStixx here with another gameplay commentary. I may not talk much for this one, just going to say this right away. I'm really tired just getting off of work, and it was Mother's Day today, so super busy day. So I'm beat. But I figured, I need to get this commentary out. I hadn't done a commentary recently, I just released that other little video I did just to do it. So here I'm glad to finally get to it, the Dragunov or SVD. Of course, it was requested that I do it with the new PSO, so I'll be more than happy to use it for you guys. Of course, I feel that this scope is really, being that it's called the PSO SVD, it works really well for this weapon. It's got to, because it's just a reskinned M145, but it just feels right on this gun, being that the mill dots and all that, it's just a Russian-styled sight all around. Now, I don't always suggest this sight for it, much like the M145, I don't really care for it on this weapon. I'd rather use a better scope, an actual optic with better zoom. Sometimes I'll use the Vulcan Deadeye or the Range Ace or whatever it is, and I'll use different things depending on the circumstances, though I do like the ballistic scope on it. But right now, the detachments I'm using, I typically use a precision barrel. I'm actually using the standoff right now just so I can get some better damage at range. Of course, it already has a good bit of range on it. It's very high, though the accuracy is lower on it, so I typically suggest the precision barrel. Now, of course, as for magazine attachments, I'm using the casket mag, so I typically use, I typically use the extra mags, being that I have I think it's 14 rounds per magazine, which is, a good bit, not a lot, but enough. Especially for semi-automatic, so it does a good bit of damage. And as for the damage, what I need to go over, it typically is in the 30s, 20s, and can go pretty high into the 70s for a headshot, as long as it's a really successful and clear headshot, which is not always the easiest thing to do. Of course, that leads me to suggesting the best attachment for when it comes to recoil, and that would be the tactical stock. This overall just lowers the recoil greatly, though they say a stabilized will do better. It does nothing for it. I've used it. Do not suggest a stabilized for it. I hate panic knifers. I was just going to knife him when he came around the corner because I knew he was there, and then he just... well, I don't know. I don't think I can complain about that one. I was running all over the place trying to knife him. Thought it would have been the best bet. Mainly just because I did that mainly because this weapon, though you can get some good fire hits with it, it's not really the best idea. Go for the knife kill, go for the pistol kill, whatever you have to do. I wouldn't have been in the blue if I was doing that. In the blue, in the green, whatever. I told you guys, I'm so tired right now, I don't even know what half the shit I'm saying is. And I apologize for that cussing too, but back to the main topic. Yes, this weapon, like I was saying, a tactical stock is highly suggested. It is probably your best bet at lowering the recoil overall, unless you can get a Thunderbolt, which I'm sure does a good bit for it, just not the best as a tactical, being that that's pretty much the best weapon best attachment when it comes to overall recoil in the game for any weapon. Now, besides that, nothing much else to say as far as attachments go. I gave y'all kind of a breakdown on what to use. As back to saying what the damage does, it can be a really quick weapon if you know how to use it correctly. If, say, it can typically be a 2 to 3 hit kill like most semi-automatics, though you can get quicker kills overall. Though it is a semi-automatic, it's not always a guaranteed thing, though. So, I like the M14. Just take your time with the weapon. You'll do great. Now, I can't guarantee that, like, most kills will come from headshots. Most of your kills will come from just around the neck and lower area, being that with whatever sight you're using on this weapon, yeah, you may get a one shot on the head, but it's not going to get you the kill, being that the recoil doesn't always bring you back down to where the head is, and being that as a semi-automatic, you are going to try to put out more bullets instead of just taking your time and making sure you get nothing but headshots. As for the reload time of this weapon, it's fairly slow. It's not it's on par with most weapons and most of the semi-automatics. The reload animation is kind of in a class of its own, kind of similar to the VSS, similar but not exactly like it. And when you had another guy just panic knifing. Besides that, guys, nothing much else to say for this weapon. Do I suggest it? Yes, I do suggest it. If you want a good, decent semi-automatic, this is the one to go for. The M110 is great as well. M14, it may have better damage, but this one overall is just the easiest to control and probably your best bet if you're just trying out new sniper rifles as far as semi-automatics go. Well, guys, this round's drawing to near an end. I'm not doing the best with it at the moment, as y'all can see, so you know, just bear with it, and I'll see what I can do around the end here for you. There you have it, guys, 15-8. I kind of picked up the slack there. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I'll be going to my loadout in a second. Well, there we go, guys. The Dragunov SVD sniper rifle. As for the attachments, as I was saying during the video, I was using the standoff, casket mags, and tactical stock with the PSO SVD. Now, as far as the PSO, it is a 2x optic. It is just a reskinned version of the M145. Of course, I do prefer the standard scope for it, which is just a level 3, and it's a little bit similar, though it's the same one used on the VSS and the, yeah, I believe it's just the VSS. It could be the same as on the SVUA as well. Though I'd really prefer the Vulcan or the Desert. I've tried to use other optics on as far as the red dots and stuff. It's not as easy to use. Though I still suggest the precision barrel instead of the standoff, and I highly suggest the tactical stock, and casket mags are great as well. But besides that, that's about all for this weapon. Let's just head over to its overall stats. It comes in with medium damage, that being around 20 to the 30s. Pretty much medium means in between, you know, as far as close to the 50s, but not in the high as far as maybe 100. As far as getting a one-shot kill at close range, I don't think it can do that just as like the M14 can. It doesn't rely on hip-fire accuracy as much as the M14 can, so it's kind of lacking in in that department as far as hip-fire goes. For the accuracy, it's medium, and your tactical, it's adding +2 accuracy, but most of all that mainly means control, because it's giving you less recoil and a little bit more control over that. As for the ammo, it is 14 and 3, so you have 4 magazines total with 14 per magazine. So I'm using casket, so that buffs it up to 20 per magazine. Now, of course, let me mention that this is the this is the standard. I do not own the +3. I only just recently bought it about within the past 2 months. But that's about all I can say for that. As for the range, it's high, and being that I'm using the standoff barrel, I'm increasing the range and the effective damage over range by 5. You can do this, but I'd still prefer a precision barrel, just because the overall, it does kind of help with the recoil as well, being that your shots, whether you're firing at kind of a scattered kind of range, like you just keep continuously firing down range. It will kind of help those shots not scatter as much. Even it will even kind of help in a slight way the hip fire accuracy. Now for the rate of fire of this weapon, it is the slowest of the semi-automatics slightly, so it is the slow semi-auto. So that's about all I'll say for this weapon. Now, I'm going to need suggestions again. I think next, actually, I'm just going to do the M416 Carbine. Yeah, the 416 Carbine. I'm just going to go ahead and do that next since it was suggested, and I do need to finish some of the assault weapons that I have to kind of redo. So I'll be doing that sooner or later. Besides that, nothing much else to say. I mean, I think I'll be done with most of the weapons. Now I'll have to do the defaults, and then those few selected pistols and all that I have left, since I still have to do the Rex and the SPAS 12 and all that stuff. So I'll be getting to that later on, but as for now, I'm going to finish up some of the assault stuff, and then I'll get to the defaults, etc., etc. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed this gameplay commentary, and thanks for the continued support, guys. And as always, much love and respect on the battlefield, soldiers. Peace.